African immigrants are an integral part of Montgomery County's diverse community, representing 16.4% of the county's total immigrant population and contributing their rich cultures, traditions, and experiences to the vibrant tapestry of the county's multicultural fabric. And some have even embraced the land, bringing their farming traditions from across the African continent. I'm your host, Mershai Sahalu, and in this special edition of Made in Montgomery, I will meet with 3 African immigrant farmers whose deep connection to the land and desire for a taste of home have ignited a farming revolution. Spanning over 93,000 acres, Montgomery County's Agricultural Reserve stands as a living testament to the county's agricultural heritage and serves as a beacon of sustainable land use planning. Located in Brookville, Dodo Farms is a certified naturally grown produce farm owned by a husband and wife. Olani Balugum, also known as Niyi, had been farming on a 100-acre land in his home country of Nigeria prior to moving to Montgomery County. How many potatoes are you giving away today?
Like today, we are supplying 300 pounds to Mana. Yeah, yesterday we supplied 100 pounds.
And all he wanted to do in his new home was farm.
I've always loved farming since when I was a kid, like 12 years old. I've always loved farming. I love the fact that I'm seeing grains from the little grain of seed you plant, it comes up, it grows on. I'm always intrigued, like, wow.
Combining his passion for farming with his business background is what led him to where he is today.
Then, when I came into the States, I'm like, okay, I will not be able to do cassava here because of the weather. Then I'm like, okay, cool, I can do vegetables. That's how the idea of vegetables came in. That's from my wife and I, because we do this together, not only me. Then we're like, okay, how are we going to get land?
Niyi was matched with landowners through the Montgomery Countryside Alliance's LandLink program, a program that matches potential farmers with landowners who don't want to farm but want to keep their land active with the goal to revitalize the agricultural reserve.
Then, luckily for us, we met this couple. Then, they gave us the 1 acre over there.
Dodo Farms has expanded from a 1-acre land to 4 acres in just 1 year since it opened in 2017. Although his wife Tope is not involved with the day-to-day farming in the field, Niyi says she is the backbone of their thriving farm business.
She's the
machine.
Yeah, she's the one. The brain behind all what we're doing here, she's the one. Okay, like for example, like new season, she just bring out a book and say, okay, you guys should not plant this next season. Why? Because it doesn't really sell well. She has all those statistics.
Instead of commercial fertilizer, Niyi uses cow manure and avoids pesticides, picking out weeds and insects by hand.
When you use pesticide, the pesticide go into the soil. It's like you're literally hitting chemical. When you use fertilizer, it alters the DNA of the plants. The taste can never be like the real naturally grown. So
the African farms in Montgomery County are also known to offer different crops.
Here I have ginger here. We planted in February, and by October, we start harvesting.
In the summer, for example, Niyi grows a type of spinach, often used in Nigerian stews, but not easily found in the U.S.
We really love it, and we discovered that it's not even here at all. We have not done this before, so let's do just little and see. Then since then, people started knowing us that, oh, that guy in the summer, he has amaranth spinach.
I'm clipping garlic.
Dodo Farms has also earned a loyal customer base, and not just among the African community.
I schooled in Japan, so I'm like, okay, I know a lot of Asian greens that are really good for your health. They have started growing Asian greens.
Niyi has always made an effort to understand his diverse customers' needs.
The market is diverse. So we think, oh, it's good we go diverse too in our crops. Like the Mexicans, when I was going to the market, the Mexicans would come, they would say, do you have chipilin?
And the chipilin plant.
Chipilin? What's chipilin? Everybody started asking for chipilin. Then we Google chipilin. I said, oh, they love chipilin. Then we started growing chipilin.
Niyi is grateful for all that Dodo Farms has accomplished in the last 6 years and hopes to keep expanding and adding other opportunities to the farm.
Our dream is to expand, have our own land, so we can be doing agrotourism. You bring people to the farm, let them see what you grow, and bring students, teach the young ones how these things are grown, so we can have different types of activities in the farm, not only growing and supplying. There are different things you can do in a farm.
A dream that was made possible by one community link.
Our Maryland Farm Link is really a good website, it's a good link for anybody that's aspiring to own a farmland in Maryland.
Since it started in 2011, the LandLink program has helped to lease out nearly 500 acres in Montgomery County.
Oh, that's a red twig dogwood.
Caroline Taylor, Executive Director at the Montgomery Countryside Alliance, and her team run the program.
The number one challenge was access to affordable land. Set up an online portal, anonymous, like a dating service, where we would have landowners who had land available for farming that wasn't currently being farmed, and aspiring producers looking for affordable farmland. We talk a lot about food access equity. I think it's important for us to add to that equation the equity for food growers, the equity in terms of access to land and the resources that they need to grow here.
Farmers are referred to the program by the Montgomery County Office of Agriculture. Natalia Salazar, Business Development Specialist at the Office of Agriculture, explains the significance of the program and the existence of the African farms.
The LandLink program is really important in that it helps beginning farmers and farmers who are trying to expand their operations locate land in the county that they can lease. You don't always want to make the large investment of buying land right at the beginning, and so this program helps farmers get started on their operation. And also some of these farms, or a lot of them actually, are donating produce to food banks like the Mena Food Center and others, so they're also serving the communities by helping those with food insecurity.
Okay.
Another LandLink farmer, Tanya Dokas Pandla, predominantly cultivates crops native to South and West Africa, specifically vegetables that flourish in the backyard of her childhood home in Harare, Zimbabwe.
I yearned the natural taste of food that we ate in Zimbabwe, which was grown naturally without any chemicals, any fertilizers. The cost of having labor to manually take out the weeds, if I don't do that, then it means I won't get any produce out of it, because then the weeds take over. Some water to drink. At the end of the day, you're getting a naturally grown product that tastes in its original form, which is supposed to be the way to enjoy it better. Once I started growing that and sharing with my friends and family, they enjoyed it. And so I found that to be a good business opportunity for myself to be able to expand and grow more.
She started her farm, Passion to Seed, in 2015 after she was matched with landowners in Laytonsville.
So I was matched to this landowner here, so that made it much easier to start off from nowhere. We've become more of a family than a business relationship type of affair.
And not just any land.
Former slaves used to farm this piece of land, And for me to be able to come from Africa and be farming on the same piece of land, it's like a continuation of the historical background that lies on this piece of property.
Zimbabwean corn, also known as maize, is a staple crop and a vital component of the country's agricultural and food culture.
It's the best type of corn that we are used to back in Zimbabwe. This is the type of corn most people from Africa are used to. So it gets very popular with a lot of people. They start asking for it like in January when it's still cold.
Although thick kernel African-based corn is what she specializes in,
Do you grow any other crops other than corn?
I grow okra and pumpkin leaves.
which are used to make mubura, a traditional African dish.
Pumpkin leaves can be a very nice vegetable to eat. I also grow horned melon. It takes almost 120 days to mature, and it spreads all over the place.
This one woman operated 2-acre farm becomes a bustling center
It's okra.
for Montgomery County's growing African community on the weekends.
I like natural food, and it's organic, and it's coming. There's no chemical on it, and I think it's healthy. I love healthy food.
I decided to call it Passion to Seed Gardening because I found the passion within me to be able to want to do this.
Passion and work that is not easy, but meaningful.
This is an ongoing exercise that you have to learn from previous experiences. As long as you have in perseverance, patience, all the P's need to be in place in order to succeed in farming. Yeah.
In the heart of Maryland's countryside, where the sun-kissed fields embrace the whispering winds, lies Beauty Blooms Farm, a floral sanctuary nurtured by the passion and dedication of one remarkable family.
Armed with a rich agricultural background and to honor her multicultural roots from both her father's Abagasi tribe in Kenya and her European heritage,
Just kind of can take shears or take it off with your hand like that.
Nia Neamwenya started a garden.
It's called white garden egg, and these are a West African crop.
which would later expand to a farm. And she does it with the best supporter by her side, her father.
The farm originally started in my parents' front yard in Silver Spring, and that was 2019.
She came and she said, we're going to tear the front yard. She insisted, so we tore the front yard and started growing vegetables.
Here we have green glazed collards, and these are one of the oldest collard varieties that we know of. Dark leafy greens, very important in African cuisine. I was interested in farming because, one, it celebrates what my family has been doing for generations back in Kenya, and also on my mom's side too. My grandparents owned a nursery in Virginia. So I wanted to merge that with also my values. And what I love about farming is it's really tangible. Like in one season, you can see results. You just kind of can take shears or take it off with your hand like that. A third of Montgomery County residents are immigrants or first generation, and so I want our food system to represent our diverse community.
From there, the father-daughter duo's farming revolution began.
Our mission is to celebrate cultural heritage through food. So I was really interested in growing culturally important crops. So these are Plat de Haiti tomatoes, and these are culturally important because Creole refugees came and brought these from the successful Haiti rebellion of folks who were enslaved and brought them to the United States. So they have deep cultural meaning as an African heritage crop.
Wow.
Yeah. That cultural importance for people and community is what we try to center on. So this crop is called kunde, and it's rich in vitamin E.
You boil them for maybe 30 minutes, saute the onions. It's a side dish to the main dish, which they call ugali. There's a big group of immigrants that are from Kenya, where I'm from. They're looking for foods that they grew up with. So that is what we're trying to grow over here.
In 2021, Beauty Bloom's farm expanded from Nia's parents' front yard to a half-acre plot through the landing program.
And I started through the LandLink program, which was great because I got matched with a landowner who had extra space in her backyard, and that was on an 8-acre garden. So we grew in the first year over 1,000 pounds of food, and that all went to the food banks.
So I feel like Nia has, staked a claim on this small plot that, I don't think either of us quite realized how much you were going to produce.
And in 2022, it expanded to a 10-acre land in Damascus after partnering with the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, making her farm one of the first farms to lease from a state park.
And now we're regenerating the soil, so adding organic matter, cover cropping, really maintaining good soil health, and then also growing food for community.
Nia and Cleve not only grow culturally meaningful crops, but also beautiful flowers.
So you grow like a range of flowers, I see.
That's right. So sunflowers, zinnias. This is also in here amaranth, which is a grain. And you can eat it similar to oatmeal once the grain, it goes to seed.
It's edible.
That's right.
Nia has always been proud to call Montgomery County home.
And what I love about our county in general and its diversity is that it is a welcoming place. And being first generation, I love that I can be in community with my mixed race family. We can celebrate our heritage here in the county. So we like to let our zucchinis grow a little bit larger.
Nia has faced many challenges when starting her farm.
Wow, that's a big zucchini.
Yeah.
But she hopes her farm will inspire others to go after their dreams and never give up.
I would also love to see this farm be an inspiration for other girls of color, Black girls, to know that farming is a possibility.
It's clear that Beauty Bloom's farm not only celebrates cultural heritage.
And this is a plant called Buena Mulata. And it starts as a purple hot pepper, but these are fun because they're, unique and a different color.
But also family and everything it stands for.
Quite proud of my daughter in the sense that she's proud of where she came from. She's involved in the community, doing all kinds of things in the community.
I love learning from him, and I love that we can also celebrate our heritage here with other people and have a family farm here. It feels really special.
Bridging cultures by providing fresh produce and fostering connections within the diverse local community. Their individual stories might have been different, but what links all three of these African farmers together is that they have cultivated not only crops, but also cultural connections that strengthens the fabric of America.
And that does it for this special edition of Made in Montgomery. For County Cable, I'm Rashai Sahalu. Thanks for watching.